The following program is sponsored by the Today's Home Remodeler television network.
Welcome to Today's Home Remodeler. I'm Stuart Keith, and on today's show, we're following along a major remodeling project with Lindus Construction. We'll begin by meeting with remodeling consultant Andy Lindus to hear how this roofing project got started and see why these homeowners have elected to do some additional home improvements. Next, we'll take a closer look at the flashing that's being installed and the attention to detail that's required to prevent leaks when a roof is replaced. And we'll finish up today's show with some diagnostic testing and learn how these tools can help find air leaks and insulation gaps in a home. So we have a lot to cover today, and we'll get started right after these messages.
Thanks for watching another Lindus Construction project on Today's Home Remodeler. And we hope you find this week's show helpful if you're remodeling a home. Because at Lindus Construction, that's all we've been doing since 1979, remodeling homes. We're your one-call, one contractor that you can trust for any home improvement. Need a new roof? We can handle it, whether it be from storm damage or just time to replace it. We offer the best roof systems from GAF. And if you're thinking about a new metal roof, we're a certified Englert metal roof dealer, and we've been installing them for years. Or maybe it's time for updating the windows and siding. At Lindus Construction, we offer a range of industry-leading products with brand names you'll recognize, including Pella, Marvin, Velux, LP SmartSide, and even our own Season Guard brand, all made here in the Midwest. How about a new deck for your home, or even a new kitchen or addition? We can design it, help you with a plan, and install it for you. Need better energy efficiency? We offer home performance testing with trained specialists who will show you exactly how to improve your home. We can seal the air leaks, add insulation if needed, and if you're tired of cleaning your gutters, we offer the best solution in the world, the one and only Leaf Guard gutters. Call today for a free estimate with one of our remodeling consultants, or visit our website, lindusconstruction.com.
Like many homeowners, this roofing project was not planned because it was a result of hail damage from a storm that came through the neighborhood about a year ago. But unlike many, these homeowners decided to take a closer look at their home and use this opportunity to improve their home's energy efficiency and lack of natural lighting. So let's get started on today's project with Andy Lindus from Lindus Construction. Well, Andy, an awful lot of activity going on at this location.
Yeah, we're just finally getting the roof all tore off, starting to put the flashing on. It's really starting to come together.
Now, why did these homeowners call you initially?
Well, originally this was a storm damage job. They had some hail come through the neighborhood. He called us. We met with the insurance adjuster. The roof was damaged, so they needed a new roof. But as we started to dig into this project, as you're about to find out, there's a lot more things than just the roof that we're doing here.
Yeah, and I'm amazed at how efficient your crew is. I mean, they've been here about an hour and a half. Already this roof has been torn off and there's no debris on the ground. I mean, they really take great pride in protecting the homeowner's landscape.
Yeah, you saw the tarps we had set up. The homeowner here really loves his plants. The last thing we want to do is trample them or get any of the debris on them. So now it's all cleaned up. We're getting ready to put some shingles on and starting to do some other stuff.
Okay, so when you talk about doing other stuff, just touch on a few of the different things you're doing and then let's get into it.
A few years back, we did some insulation, some attic air sealing for him, put a few windows in his house. There's a couple areas of the roof we weren't able to quite get to. Oh, sure. So now that we got the roof off, we're able to get to those areas and insulate them. But now we found some other things. They have a non-IC rated light that we have to change out. We're actually going to add 3 sun tunnels and a skylight to the house, a new bath fan, more insulation. So when we're done here, you're not only going to have a lot more natural light coming into the house, it's going to be a much better insulated home.
Well, I can't wait to take a little tour and learn step by step the Lindus process. And is a job like this becoming more typical in your line of work?
Yeah, when we get on a job, we just don't want to slap on the roof. We really want to look at each house as an individual house. What can we do to make this the most comfortable house for our customer? And for this place, it was natural light, insulation, a bath fan, a lot of things that is a little above what a normal storm damage job is going to be, but in the long run, the homeowner is going to be much happier.
And that's what it's all about, peace of mind for the homeowner and ending up with the end result that they're going to live with for years to come.
Yeah.
Well, let's get started with the tour and learn more about the step-by-step Lindus construction process.
Sounds good.
Now, Andy, down below you mentioned that there's many different facets to this project, and we're going to get into each of them, but since the homeowners contacted you about hail damage, let's begin with the roof replacement process.
You know, once we figured out exactly everything we're going to do on the job, we brought it all back to our office and started the scheduling process. First thing we're going to have to do is pull the permit. Then we're going to schedule the materials and the dumpster to be delivered. And then, like I told you, we have 5 different crews on this job site today. So coordinating those 5 crews to be here in the most efficient way possible to attack everything in one day is quite the chore. And I really hats off to the people at our office being able to schedule something like that.
Now, is this pretty typical in your projects? You try to do it as quickly as possible and get all the crews out there?
As fun as we're to be around, customers don't want contractors at their house for weeks on end. So the faster we can get a quality project done for them, the more happy they're going to be.
Okay, so on this, we mentioned down below how they efficiently tore off all the old roof, but they did it very clean. So you had a dumpster there, they dumped it in. Once they get down to the decking, what happens next in the process?
Well, if there's any type of rotten decking, we're going to want to replace it and change that out. We're going to look for places that like the old vents were. I've been in plenty of attics where people don't take the little steps like this quick plug here. They just shingle over the top of that. Say they're putting a ridge vent in. Well, you have a void in your roof deck here. They shingle over the top of that. Someday someone's going to walk up here and fall through here. So for not very much money, you put this plug in, screw it down, put ice and water over it. 1, it will never leak. 2, once the shingles are on here, it'll be a safe roof to walk on.
Holy cow, so you've actually seen it several occasions where there's essentially a hole that's only covered up with shingles.
Not only have I seen it that way, I've put my foot through one of those that way. Not a fun experience.
Gosh, no. So you take the extra attention to detail. You have safety in mind.
Yeah, safety in mind, not only for the next guy that's going to be on this roof, for the customers, for everyone.
Okay, so once you remove all the old roofing, you inspect everything, look for rot, and then you also make it safe where all the old vent holes are. I noticed you removed a big section of the roof down here. What's going on there?
We knew that this is an area that they weren't able to originally address when we did attic insulation and spray foam before, because you couldn't get to it until you removed the roof. Now, today, we removed the roof, and if you look here, you see there's 2 different can lights?
Oh, sure.
That one over there, the silver one, is an IC rated can light. Right here, I don't know why they used a non-IC rated can light. I don't know if it was all they had years ago when they put that on, but we know we don't want to insulate over the top of that and cause any issues. It can short out. It can cause a fire, things like that. We're making sure the homeowner safety's peace of mind. Yeah, it delayed our project by about 45 minutes. We got to run to a store and get a new can light. But you know what? 45 minutes is well worth it, knowing that we're going to have peace of mind that this is going to last a lifetime.
Again, back to the one call, one contractor. You can rest assured it's going to be done properly and safely. Now, you use the term IC. That's insulation contact, right?
Yes. So that can light right there is rated that it can come in contact with insulation. Right here, it can cause issues. It can cause shorting out. It can cause fires. And we are going to put our insulated boxes over the top of them. The risk is pretty minimal regardless, but for the amount of money and the amount of time it's going to take, we might as well be safe. And you notice when we got here, this, before we tore all this off, was rotten. I'm guessing if you look at these can lights here, the amount of heat that those were generating in the wintertime was causing an ice dam. So now we're going to put the boxes over the top of them, spray foam the entire thing, put the roof deck back down. Our customer will never have to worry about another ice dam here.
Stay tuned. We'll take a closer look at the flashing that's being installed on this roof next, when we continue with today's Home Remodeler.
Thanks for watching another Lindus construction project on today's Home Remodeler. And we hope you find this week's show helpful if you're remodeling a home. Because at Lindus Construction, that's all we've been doing since 1979, remodeling homes. We're your one-call, one contractor that you can trust for any home improvement. Need a new roof? We can handle it, whether it be from storm damage or just time to replace it. We offer the best roof systems from GAF. And if you're thinking about a new metal roof, we're a certified Englert metal roof dealer, and we've been installing them for years. Or maybe it's time for updating the windows and siding. At Lindus Construction, we offer a range of industry-leading products with brand names you'll recognize, including Pella, Marvin, Velux, LP SmartSide, and even our own Season Guard brand, all made here in the Midwest. How about a new deck for your home, or even a new kitchen or addition? We can design it, help you with a plan, and install it for you. Need better energy efficiency? We offer home performance testing with trained specialists who will show you exactly how to improve your home. We can seal the air leaks, add insulation if needed, and if you're tired of cleaning your gutters, we offer the best solution in the world, the one and only Leaf Guard gutters. Call today for a free estimate with one of our remodeling consultants, or visit our website, lindusconstruction.com.
In our last segment, we learned how this roofing project started with a hailstorm and has now evolved into a complete energy efficiency remodel with air sealing, new insulation, and the addition of 3 sun tunnels and a skylight. Now let's once again meet up with our remodeling consultant, Andy Lindus, to learn more about roof flashing and some of the other work being done on this project. Well, you know, Andy, with all the different shows we've done on roofing, one of the things that sticks in my mind is the importance of flashing. And as I recall, this is a crucial area that is sometimes overlooked.
Yeah, you know, we've talked before. Everybody can get the same shingle, but it's the detail stuff that we do that really sets us apart. Like, for instance, here, I know when I get into attics, old construction like this, built in the 70s, it's going to be 2x4 construction on the sidewalls. That's an excellent source of heat escaping onto the roof, usually ice dams. And when ice dams occur in situations like this, it leaks. Because if you notice, what they used to do in this area was just run tar paper up the wall and then put the shingle tins over the top of that. Feel how brittle that is.
It's just falling apart here. And again, you're saying that there's a little bit of insulation, if any at all, because of the era of the construction. But where this roof meets it, that's a perfect area for moisture to get in?
It is, and this is why we want to create a drainage plane. What we did is we cut out 6 inches of the old cedar siding, and we're going to take our ice and water shield, run it behind the old cedar siding, tuck it behind there, and take our shingle tins right over the top so we can make a nice step flashing, going to give us a drainage plane, so even if there is an ice dam in this area, you'll never have to worry about it leaking.
Again, peace of mind for the homeowner. Now, this is old cedar siding. It must have been a concern for the homeowners when you said you're actually going to cut out 5 or 6 inches.
You know, they were worried about it, and normally what we use is the LP SmartSide trim board.
Sure.
But in getting to talk to the homeowners, they just had the house refinished with an acrylic stain. My experience, that acrylic stain doesn't take to some of those composite boards, so we're actually going to replace it with a new cedar board that we're going to pre-finish on the ground before we install it.
And again, cedar, nature's wonders, it's rot resistant, so they're not going to have to worry about that. But what I like to hear there is that's the voice of experience from an experienced contractor. I say that all the time in shows. Make sure you do your homework, hire someone who's experienced with the different products. You're going to get your best end result, and these homeowners, by the sound of it, aren't going to have to worry about longevity with this system, nor are they going to have to worry about it ever leaking again.
In my experience, it's the little things like that that lead to a happy customer.
Well, let's continue on down a couple different areas. I know that there's some important flashings that need to be installed. Now, I know in the past you said a very crucial area of any roof is the valley, and although it's not flashing that we're looking at ice and water shield, it's still very important.
Yeah, the first thing we want to do before we put down our valley tin is put down 1 row of ice and water shield. As you can see, this is done perfectly. If the valley tin ever fails, we got ice and water shield as a drainage plane that's going to put it out. But we don't stop there. Once the valley tin is put down, we're going to add 2 more rows of ice and water shield. So essentially, it's 9 feet wide in the valleys, which is one of your biggest culprits of ice dams.
And again, this ice and water shield is an amazing product. It really sticks well, and you're not going to have to worry about any water, even in the unlikely event that it enters. It's still going to be flushed right out.
Yeah, what I love about the products from GAF is this particular ice and water shield is going to actually have to take heat to activate. So as you put it on, you can adjust it and get it laying flat perfectly without it having being too tacky. And as you'll see throughout the day, as the sun sets on this, you want it to come back up, you're going to have to bring the roof deck with it.
Now, some other areas of importance when it comes to flashing, I assume like a chimney, a plumbing penetration, anything like that?
We have a lot of penetrations on this roof. We got some Broan vents we have to deal with. We have our heating stacks, our plumbing stacks. All of those have flashing kits that go on them. Like I told you before, we're installing 3 sun tunnel skylights, so we're going to have to put flashing and ice and water shield around. A brand new skylight, we're going to install a new flashing kit. You know, I have a Velux skylight that's 25 years old. Because we installed it, it's never leaked a single time in that 25 years.
Sure, again, in shows past, we've stressed how you can have the best products in the world, but if they're not installed properly, you're not going to be happy with them, and you're not going to get the longevity.
No, and another little thing that we do, you notice over here, we have what we call our pre-flashing on for the gutters. We put this piece of metal on, knowing that later on we're going to be here to install the leaf guard and put up another drip cap right there, but we want one that the ice and water shield attaches to and adheres to. This way, should water ever get behind the gutter system or underneath the roofing system, when it gets here, it's kicked out over the top of the fascia board, will never rot anything out.
Okay, now what about the roof vents themselves? Before we saw that they had the old turtle vents and you were taking care of those in a safe manner, getting rid of them, sealing them up with those plugs. How are you going to vent this place now?
Now we're going to cut in a ridge vent. And we use the GAF ridge venting that even in a driving rain, it'll never leak. So we got to cut out the existing sheeting, put up our ice and water shield, cut that out, install the shingles, then we'll put the ridge vent over the top of that, cap that off. It's going to look awesome. It's going to be about 4 times the amount of venting that they have on the house right now. And most importantly, when you're talking about a roof that's going to last 50 years, you need the vents to last 50 years. You need the ice and water shield to last 50 years. The whole roof needs to be good for that longevity.
It really is a complete system, and I just want to quickly touch on this opening over here. You said this is going to be a Velux skylight.
Yep.
Is this what you're referring to before, is how there's areas of the homes you didn't have access to, but now that you do have access, because this is a rather large opening, you can do a thorough inspection of it?
Yeah, like I told you, these are really skilled guys, and they have to be. We tore this up. We know that the old porch roof is 2 foot on center. The actual roofing is 16 inches on center, so we got to move this truss over in order to install the skylight. And then when my guy got inside the attic here, he noticed the house is actually cantilevered into the porch area a little bit, crawled up underneath there and saw this.
What the heck?
You know, that used to be pink. What that means is this old pink insulation was acting like a filter in the house. All of that airflow coming here turned that black. And when you talk about an area that has ice dams, more than likely that's what's causing it. So we're going to do a little change up here. We're going to spray foam that area, attic air seal it, insulate it, so they'll never have to worry about that air loss ever again.
What a great example of how fiberglass insulation does a great job insulating, but it doesn't stop airflow. It really filters it. And what you guys are doing is going to the extra mile to seal all the attic penetrations. Yeah. So they're not going to have to worry about this, and fiberglass can do what it's meant to do, and that's keep the heat in the house.
It's a difference in materials. Say if this is a home that I wasn't going to be spray foaming entirely,
sure,
I would put cellulose on because that stops the airflow a little bit more.
Okay.
But when I'm putting spray foam on a house, I can I'll blow in fiberglass over the top because I can get to the desired R value with less inches and I can get to the right spaces.
This is such a great project to show how a true professional company can handle all the different aspects of a home remodeling, because the house really does act as a system, as I've learned from you in the past. And if you go and change something in one area, you might be affecting another area. And that really is where it comes back to all your knowledge, your experience, and all the diagnostic tools that you guys use.
Yeah, you know, we're not fly-by-night guys. I'm going to be around in 30 years. I want to make sure stuff I did 30 years ago never comes back to haunt us.
Stick around. We'll continue with our exterior remodeling project and do some diagnostic testing next, here on today's Home Remodeler.
Thanks for watching another Lindus construction project on today's Home Remodeler. And we hope you find this week's show helpful if you're remodeling a home. Because at Lindus Construction, that's all we've been doing since 1979, remodeling homes. We're your one-call, one contractor that you can trust for any home improvement. Need a new roof? We can handle it, whether it be from storm damage or just time to replace it. We offer the best roof systems from GAF. And if you're thinking about a new metal roof, we're a certified Englert metal roof dealer, and we've been installing them for years. Or maybe it's time for updating the windows and siding. At Lindus Construction, we offer a range of industry-leading products with brand names you'll recognize, including Pella, Marvin, Velux, LP SmartSide, and even our own Season Guard brand, all made here in the Midwest. How about a new deck for your home, or even a new kitchen or addition? We can design it, help you with a plan, and install it for you. Need better energy efficiency? We offer home performance testing with trained specialists who will show you exactly how to improve your home. We can seal the air leaks, add insulation if needed, and if you're tired of cleaning your gutters, we offer the best solution in the world, the one and only Leaf Guard gutters. Call today for a free estimate with one of our remodeling consultants, or visit our website, lindusconstruction.com.
So far in today's show, we have been following the roof replacement process on this home, along with some improvements which include air sealing, new attic insulation, and more natural lighting. But before this project was even started, diagnostic testing was done on this home to determine how it could be improved for energy efficiency and the best way to do it. So let's once again meet up with our remodeling consultant, Andy Lindus, to see how this home was tested. Well, Andy, it looks like the guys are making some serious progress on this major renovation project. And, you know, I was amazed that this all came to be because of a hailstorm. The homeowners just simply wanted their roof replaced, but really when you came out, you found out they wanted much more than that.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about that before, and that's where we start. Find out the dreams from the homeowner, what they really want, and then go from there. And I'm really excited about this project. The natural light that we've been able to add, not only to the entryway, the hallway, and an interior bathroom. The insulation that we've done, when you go in that attic, not only is it going to be more energy efficient, but I really do think we've made this house more structurally sound.
Sure, and I know that you had touched on that. That's the way you like to do it. We call it the Lindus process. You get to know the homeowners. Really, what is the end result they're trying to get? Sure, we know they needed a new roof, but in this case, they wanted a lot more, the natural light like you touched on. And I said, how do you start the process then? And you said it all begins with diagnostic testing. So let's begin today's show right here at the front door with what's called a blower door.
When we first got here, before we did any type of work, we hooked this up and it really gives a blueprint on how to make this house the most comfortable it possibly can be. And if you look at where it's reading now that we got all the insulation done, we're hovering right around 1200 CFM. That's 1200 cubic feet per minute of air is moving through this house. Before we did any of the spray foam insulation or any of the attic air sealing around the house, we were hovering around that 25 to 2700.
Wow, so you cut it by more than half.
More than half. Now, say your furnace has to turn over the air in your house, 14, 15 times a day. Now, your furnace or even your air conditioning unit has to do that 7 times a day. Not only are you saving the money of running your furnace, it's going to add lifetime on to both of those units, so you won't have to replace them as fast.
Okay, and so this blower door test, it's one of the diagnostic tools that you're using. And when you came in here, you said it was essentially double that. Mm-hmm. How do you know where the leaks are coming from? Because essentially, that's what you're finding are the leaks in the house, right?
Yeah, we go around the house with an infrared imaging camera, and we can see where the air is coming in just by looking at the difference in heat signatures on the wall and the attic spaces. And then we go around the entire house with our smoke stick, and we're able to see where the leaks are coming from. Like the can light areas were really showing up. You saw that we put the boxes over a lot of those and fixed some ice dam issues. And now I think we got most of it all taken care of.
And those leaks, a big area of it is up in the attic, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you and I touched on that. And when somebody says, hey, I need a new roof or I want new insulation, if they don't use the diagnostic testing, they're really doing a disservice. They're spending a lot of money that isn't necessarily the best well spent if they don't do the air sealing, right?
Air sealing is the biggest return of investment as far as energy efficiency. Not only air sealing in the attic, we also went around the basement of the house and looked at the rim, and that's usually a big culprit. I mean, when we put the blower door test up, you open up the basement door, you could feel the air coming right to us, and that's because it's sucking in air down the walls, what we call stack effect, or up the walls, and that's where the infrared imaging, too, you start to see in the wintertime the blue streaks going up the wall or coming down the wall. It's kind of a neat thing.
Okay, and so with all these diagnostic tools, You were able to really create that plan. We need to seal it up in the attic. We need to seal up down around the rim. Some of the windows were leaky. That's got to be ultimate in the peace of mind for the homeowners to see it firsthand. You can actually point it. Is that possible to do?
They're going to feel it. You know, it's just going to be a more comfortable house here. So when we go around, we're able to show people this is what we did and how we're going to do it, and then the diagnostics, it's real easy to price that out. If we do this, this is how much we're going to save you in energy. If we do this, this is how much we're going to save you in energy. So it really lets the customer choose, a la carte, if you will, what they want done to their home in addition to the roof.
And you know, Andy, in the past we've talked about how the house acts as a system, and you can't go and change one aspect without affecting the other. And that's why you're using these tools, right? That's got to help the homeowners understand how it acts as a system.
The diagnostics, like I was saying, gives us the blueprint on how to fix this house. I can't tell you how many times I go to somebody's house and they say, my windows leak or my door leaks. And we hook up the blower door, we go around, and yeah, they're feeling air coming out here, but more often than not, it's from a poorly air-sealed attic or a poorly air-sealed or insulated rim, so that air is traveling down the walls, and it comes out at the trim or the outlets, or you've seen those, you know, those foam outlet covers you can get and seal that up. That's just putting a Band-Aid on it. That's putting the air someplace else. So it really allows us to do what we want to do, is like what we did on this house. Brought the vacuum up there, vacuumed out all of the old insulation. We're able to see all of the perforations in the attic. Then the spray foam guys came in and put down a skim coat of spray foam. Over the top of that, we blew in fiberglass to get to an R50. So not only is it completely air sealed, it also has that R50 insulation, so when the attic does get warm, it's going to really block that heat or cold from coming into the house.
Sure, so essentially what you're saying is year-round they're going to notice a difference.
Yeah.
Their air conditioner's not going to run as long in the summer months, and their furnace won't have to work as hard in the winter months.
Yeah, going from 2,600 CFM to, well, we're at 1,235 right now. I mean, that cuts your furnace time and your air conditioning time in half. You're going to work half as hard, half as much, and you're going to spend half the amount of money.
Now here are some key points to help summarize today's show. If your home has storm damage or you're considering a new roof, it's a great time to do some additional remodeling and make sure your home is properly insulated and air sealed. You might even consider adding some natural lighting. Next, when having your new roof installed, make sure that all the old flashing is also being replaced. This will include sidewalls, around roof vents, and any other roof penetrations that are prone to leakage. Finally, if you're replacing your roof, adding siding, or have a problem with your home that you just can't seem to figure out, consider diagnostic testing by a trained professional. A blower door test and thermal imaging can detect problems you oftentimes can't see, and testing can be a wise investment before you start remodeling your home. Well, we're all out of time for this week's show. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next time on Today's Home Remodeler.
The preceding program was sponsored by the Today's Home Remodeler television network.